Welcome back everyone to the Spearhead cast. With me, Matt. We have a 1v1 on the Eastern Front for you all. Let's go through the players. We have Eugene as the Wehrmacht and I'm going straight for Strafdivision, which seems to be very popular these days. And we have Robertos as Tank Division for the USSR. This should also be interesting. So Straf versus Tank. Question is, how will Straf do once they can get to the later parts of the match? If the match lasts as long as. I forgot this map covers like a small 1v1 map that's in the vanilla pool currently. It's like fighting over a small stream. Pretty nice looking map in all honesty. Let's see how this will turn out though. So we're gonna have a rule engagement here on the Eastern Front. Let's see if the Soviets can push back the Germans. The Germans have employed penal troops to try and keep the Soviets at bay. This might be a halting action to buy time for other units, as the Germans are probably in full retreat to get out of Russia. Who is to say? We are seeing some Assad's Grenadiers coming in though, so some more competent infantry to support the Straftroopen. Straftroopen will allow the Germans to get a lot more of a territorial reach here early on, because it's more squads, and more squads means you can capture more territory easily. But the Soviets are mostly focused on this side for now. Haven't got anything to take this side, but they are getting a squad of Frontoviki. Decent line infantry for the Soviet Union. Can generally fight most other enemies reliably. Unlike the conscripts here, who are much cheaper and generally are not as good in long-range engagements. Germans have secured a lot of territory this time. Pioneers have been engaged now by the conscripts. Well, the Pioneers are engaging the conscripts rather. Molotov attempt but cancelled. Frontoviki coming onto the battlefield. Straftroopen opening fire on the flank of the conscripts. Good Molotov throw. Grenadiers are now engaging the conscripts here at long range, but the Grenadiers are only behind light cover. And I think the conscripts might win that engagement thanks to the heavy cover. Frontoviki is rushing upwards though, getting a Maxim I think, yep Maxim, as well as an MG34 for the Wehrmacht. Frontoviki will get up then they'll definitely start to take a hit on the Grenadiers if the Grenadiers stay. It seems like the Grenadiers are gonna pull back to some sandbags. Germans have secured a lot of territory thanks to the Straftroopen. I think these conscripts are gonna last too long out here. They do manage to get a Molotov off. But that's a dead conscript squad. More conscripts being called to replace the last one. Maxim rushing into the field now. A wheeled heavy machine gun used by the Soviet Union and Imperial Russia before. Water cooled, as you can see. I do think these Pioneers have to be a little bit careful. And the 34 is in a pretty good position here. So far the battle seems a little bit static, as you would expect, but the conscripts will attempt to use vodka to try and survive longer. Using their vodka rations. That's a great undone though, but a Molotov in return. Good grenade though from the Straftroopen. Oh great, yes, out in the open got mowed down by the Frontoviki. Dropping an LMG-34 with 100 rounds, and those Frontoviki are now gonna have their gun. That's a really impressive weapon there, right? Weapon to get. So a very good spoil.
The enemy has killed another infantry squad.
That's a really good catch to get on your Frontoviki. So I do not think the Germans are gonna move over that way for a while anyway.
HMG crew is ready. Red Army at your service.
More conscripts called in to replace the losses. Conscripts are fairly cheap, so only 180.
Conscripts have arrived.
Artillery calling in the sappers here. Because we have a lieutenant here for the straftruppen. The straftruppen are actually still pretty decent just behind the heavy cover here, so they'll hold for a while. Especially at range against the conscripts, I think the straftruppen will win out, but the conscripts are going to start rushing them shortly. Yeah, the second squad here is going to come out in the open here. Good grenade in the path though. They didn't stop him. They dodged it.
We can now establish forward headquarters. Our opponents are seizing a sector. Stand and fight. Keep your heads down.
Second Maxim coming out for the Soviet Union. Oh, smoke dropping it up there. Very nice. That's going to force the Russians to move a bit. And then throw a grenade there because they don't know there's nothing in there. MG34 is going to stop them though. Like, don't underestimate an MG34 100 rounds. That's a really powerful weapon. Maxim moving up. But the MG34 here is going to try and open fire on them. You got some Volksgrenadiers coming in. Whose unique ability, I believe, is actually Grenade Assault. If you're playing as Straf. Which is a unique little thing for them to get. But I might be wrong on that. I think they normally just get the ability to do Grenade Assaults, but I might be wrong. Or perhaps it's the Gebaldeladung? I don't see enough Volksgrenadiers being used if people play as Straf Division. They always just go for the Straftruppen instead. They're being armed with MP40s though. After I come out onto the field, which can actually be upgraded to be a flame projector if you're playing as Straf.
Can now be called in to rally our troops.
We've got some motor guards arriving here for the tank division. Basic line infantry you can get later on can be armed with double DPM. Exceptionally valuable unit to have. Essentially, these are better line infantry you can use as tank division. Tank division actually gets access to two guards. They get access to assault guards and they get access to motor guards. Motor guards being the line infantry and assault guards being assault oriented. It's a very interesting little stuff. And before it's going to mow down these conscripts, I think. Yep, very good job there from the Volks. Maxim was waiting an ambush though for the Volksgrenadiers. Denying them this fuel. Double DPM being armed already on the motor guards. Gonna make them a really good fire support squad. Flame projectors already being armed on the half-track. Probably a very good way to try and clear out the Maxims. Staff was pushing up through the smoke though. Maxim is waiting. Don't throw another grenade because he probably thinks there's still troops behind the sandbag. Half-track push up. Hopefully the Russians are noticing what's gonna happen. Yep, that's a flamethrower now. That Fonsoviki is taking heavy losses. They dodged most of the fire, thankfully. Need some kind of AT weapon, because I think only the line infantry have stolen Panzerfausts, or captured Panzerfausts, which is not gonna do too well against a flame projector if it activates Scorched Earth and drives up on them. I think the flame projector will actually be able to kill them with Scorched Earth activated before they can actually get the Panzerfaust off. And that's why we're seeing a tank hunter team coming out. Coming with a PTRS rifle and a semi-automatic anti-tank rifle utilized by the Soviet Union.
Fresh guards troops are standing by.
There's like a smoke grenade went down here, but we don't see the graphics for it. Actually, there was no smoke. Never mind. Maxim is opening fire to try and pin the Volksgrenadiers. They definitely got the point, though. That's gonna buy the Germans a little bit more fuel. At the sacrifice of 2 of them. Tank hunters are on the field now, though, and these units should be utilized quickly. They need to get a good shot in on that flame projector before it hits somewhere else. Yeah, he's moving it out. He knows where it is, I think. Yeah, he can hear it through the fog of war. You can also see it on the minimap there. He's gonna try and anti-tank grenade. Machine gun on the rear though, suppressing and the flame projectors as well. It's actually even suppressing the tank hunters, and I think it might have killed them.
The sector is at risk.
Yeah, it actually killed them. Wow. Very impressive from the flame projector here. He's gonna get a tank grenade off, and there it goes. Got a Maxim waiting here, opening fire. The Germans have the north fuel, and the Soviets have the south fuel, so the map has somewhat shifted a little bit. Second tank gunner has been called in just in case another vehicle comes out from the Germans. MT-34 armed Frontoviki. Frontoviki still in the field. Apparently the officer's holding the MG-34 because it's like a status symbol, perhaps a spoil of war that the officer likes to carry around with him. The German position is not looking the best at the moment, but then again, Straff in 1v1. I'm not sure how good Straff is in 1v1s. But he's also fighting a Soviet player that seems to know what they're doing.
Relief infantry ready for reinforcement.
That's a lot of machine gun fire coming in that house.
An officer is awaiting orders.
The Pioneer might not get out of there. Oh, he will. Nice to see. Maybe we'll have an engagement at our flank here. Statuv's being mowed down by the double EPM of the motor guards. Mechanized Campaneer coming up for the Soviet Union. CIS-3 as well. Panzer IV F1 coming out for the Germans. As well as the Kettenhunde has arrived, as well as the Hauptmann. So all the officers are coming onto the field. German military police. Oh, German military police are actually being armed with the MP40I. Nice to see. A weapon they were actually equipped a lot more with than the STG. Also, he probably needs to be veteran to get the STG, obviously, and it's very expensive. Also, the MPI can suppress, actually, so it's not a bad submachine gun.
Ready.
There comes the CIS-3.
You need something built? We are awaiting orders. We have a deep machine.
Fresh conscripts have arrived.
Conscripts going out to the field there.
Structure complete.
Here comes the F1. He went straight for the final tier, so he might be one to go for T-45 when he gets the command points. But that's going to take a while, because he needs 9 command points to do that. Oh wait, he has 7. That might not be that hard to do then. And he also just only needs the manpower, so I think we might see a T-45 shortly. If there's a little bit more fighting than this. Kettenhunde pushing up. I said the Hauptmann will get mowed down. Maxim's gonna open fire though soon, I think. Yep. And the Kettenhunde get mowed down. The Abtrack and the little tractor here providing a little bit of good A bit of good cover here for the Maxim. But the F1 is gonna make a short work of that.
You need light anti-tank support?
Panzer 4, ready.
The Germans are also getting a Kampfkraft Center. They can take up their veterancy across the entire map. Generally a very good useful upgrade, or a good building that people still need to learn to use. It's still a very new feature. It's actually a feature taken from Company of Heroes 1.
To advance rapidly.
And there's a P-Terriers lying on the ground here from the previous Tank Hunter. So that could be utilized by someone.
What do you need?
Although I don't think these guards can grab any more weapons because double DPM fills both their weapon slots. Airburst coming in here. Rapid airburst actually.
Scripts at our disposal.
Didn't get any kills though. But it's gonna allow these grenadiers with the MG34 coming up to come up.
Fuck! Grenade! They are coming! We have been promoted.
What else? Vika might be gone. Yeah, they're down, and there's another MG34 with 100 rounds on the ground. With the conscripts are rushing up to grab. Oh, are they? Oh, he might actually move up to merge. No, he's not merging, he's just gonna go to the front line, okay. Bit of a shame to just leave an MG34 like that. That's a conscript squad, I'm pretty sure. F1 moving up on this flank.
Panzer, extra munitions can be delivered to your forces if requested.
This time he merged. That's another ability the conscripts have. They can merge with other squads, putting them up to speed.
Red Banner T-3485s are available to overrun the enemy. T-34s now available to report.
We have another motor guard squad on the fields. Maxim gone.
We have lost a machine gun crew.
Tank Hunter trying to get up to get a flanking shot.
Access to additional battlefield options.
And he's gonna use a captured Panzerfaust. There we go, very good one. But didn't destroy it. Heavy mortar arriving here for the Germans. Just really a captured or copied Soviet mortar. The Germans really like to copy Russian stuff or just any stuff they could. Like the 120mm mortar became really popular just because of how powerful it was. So Germans didn't hesitate to adopt it. We also have a T-45 Ace coming in. That's unique call into tank commander right there. Really good unit. Supposed to be able to take out Tigers and similar. It's really good at being essentially a tank hunter. Still an MG34 line in the ground. A charge being ordered here by the lieutenant. Double DPMs will mow down these Strafttruppen. Even as they get a grenade off. That F1 is in trouble if he gets spotted by the T-34-45. And Strafttruppen have no AT capability. They don't have mines. That 85 is gonna have a very good time, I think. I see the heavy mortar bombarding the other Soviet flank. Now the heavy mortar is very inaccurate, but if it hits, it does a lot of damage. Maxim pushing up now.
LMG team ready.
A double motor guard. That's generally really good because the motor guard's just really good frontline infantry. The double DPM really does provide them with a lot of firepower. But I'm still surprised no one has taken that MG34, but do you think these conscripts might? No? Oh, that's a sad MG34. That's a conscript squad.
Brave infantry have made the ultimate
Recon team coming out here. Looks like we have the female models this time. The Soviet recon sniper models can be either male or female, if you were wondering. Looks like the Sisfree has been used to try and counter artillery the heavy mortar.
So tired of being cold.
Soldiers ready.
Panzer IV-H coming out for the Germans.
at our disposal.
Pretty good Panzer IV. I'm able to most commanders. It'll definitely be a big step up from the F1.
Of ammunition.
Looks like we have flares going in over the battlefield. Giving the Germans sight of everything that's going on. Big push has been on the southern flank, but Maxim is calling them down.
I will not know what hit him now that we have everything
MT-34 and MP-40 is pushing up on this flank. Very good weapons in combination.
Panzer IV is ready for battle.
That's his free is a problem though. I can use a high explosive shot. Oh, it did. Killed almost all of them. Although I think they survived a little bit thanks to the sandbag wall. The sacrifice gave Germany a little bit of more territory to work with. But the double DPMs here from the guards just mowing down the Volksgrenadiers and they're gone.
Infantry have been decorated for valor. We have a DP-28. Give us a target.
I think it's going to use these conscripts to merge because he's done that before. You can actually see some conscript models in the unit. Yep, he's merging. That's a very good way of using the conscripts. To just keep your squads at the front line fully equipped. Well, fully manned, rather. The T-34-85 coming out. So the Panzer IV-H is going to have its work cut out for it. See, it has 840 armor rating. While the 85 Ace has 850. So pretty even in that aspect, but I think the gun on the 85 is a lot better. Penetration 900.
You need something?
Yeah, far better gun. So I think the 85 is definitely gonna beat the Panzer IVs in any kind of engagement.
What do you need?
Looks like the heavy mortar got a kill on something. Probably killed a Maxim actually. Yeah, definitely killed the Maxim. More flares coming over the battlefield.
The enemy is taking
Sisfree doing counter barraging. Trying to get a hit in. Oh, it killed all but one guy. He needs to pull that thing back to the base and reinforce. And so he is.
We are losing a sector.
More airbursts coming up here.
Panzer IV ready.
Yes?
Enemy at our flanks.
Extra munitions.
Artillery being called in near the German base. But at cost of an officer, that's expensive. I do think that officers should be on the cooldown, and that once they die, the cooldown begins, so you don't just try to sacrifice. There's a lot of things that officers need to do. Need to be done with officers to make them change, I personally think. Currently, people just rush them up to call in artillery strikes, like sacrificial things, which you really should not be doing with the officers. They are important people that should not be wasted. Artillery call in there, looks like it's going to be a 152mm precision, but that's easily dodged. That's more to take out heavy fortifications. Sisfree opening fire on the German base though. 85 is waiting. Second 85 also being prepared behind this. And the motor guards are just keeping the flank here secure with the double DPMs. Well, the T-45 Ace is ordered to hold this flank on its own. Quite a big job. Being pinned now by machine gun fire, and high explosive might kill them. Yeah, that killed the squad entirely. Sicherungstruppen called in. battle group for the Staff Division. Essentially realign German troops that are not actually supposed to see direct frontline duty. Pretty decent unit actually for defensive purposes, but they're not actually actual frontline infantry. But they can do the job at least.
Now call upon our supply reserves of ammunition.
It has allowed the Germans to secure that front though, thanks to the SEGA being present. They'd actually be armed with the LMG 42s with 100 rounds, so if you actually combine that with that T-34 100 rounds to the ground, that could be a very good defensive infantry. Stuka going in, but easily dodged. Again, that's mostly to deal with fortified locations. On a mobilized tank. But I think the German base is going to get very open now. The Soviets could soon launch an assault. They're already doing sector artillery here. I don't think that Panzer IV can get out in time. Looks like it will. Good for it.
Infantry can now rush into the enemy line. Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Stuk G being called in. Generally a combatant choice. Oh, MG-34 down to a high explosive from the T-34. T-45 Ace moving up. Putting a heat shot. Officer down. Motor guards pushing up aggressively alongside the tanks. I think the Soviets are prepared for a full-length offensive across the entire front if they can, which is something the Soviets actually did. They pushed along the entire front more often than not. Basically just overmanning the Germans. Anti-tank grenade on the F1, killing it. Stuka's gonna be in trouble here. Yep, one good shot there from the 85 gun, essentially making that Stuk worthless. IS-2 even being called in. But I think the Soviets have the means to just push now if they want. What's going to stop them? The 85 is inside to hit the German base. Destroying one of the pillboxes, a bunker essentially. And it's time to threaten the German base entirely.
Foes are behind our lines.
Not sure with his age he's gonna try and do there. Still T-45 Ace. There we go, a critical hit. But I got a good shot in return on the 85 Ace. But there it goes. And now there's no threat to the 85s. And with that, the Germans surrendered and pulled back. Their halting action probably did not stop the Soviets for long. I hope you all enjoyed this one, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.